have a question for you today. Mhm. So, have you ever designed an app or a feature and you thought people would actually love it, and at the end of the day, people do not even care about it? You know what? That's probably because you omitted the first, or probably like the most important part of the design process, and which is the empathy stage. Today, we are diving deep into empathy stage, what to do, what not to do, how to do it, and all of that. Grab a coffee and take your notes and let's chat. Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca. I'm a product designer, a creative, and a storyteller. Today, I'm going to be talking about the empathy stage, which is the first stage in the design thinking process. What is empathy in design thinking? Empathy in design thinking is not about feeling sorry for the users. It's really about putting yourself in the user's shoes. It's about seeing the world from their lens. It's about thinking about how they feel, their struggle, their pain points. Basically, it's about putting yourself in their shoes. The goal here is very simple. The goal here is understanding them to the point of knowing how to solve their problem. Now, let me explain empathy to you using this use case. Think about Bola as a business owner. She sells perfume online, and every morning she checks her app and check the transactions and notifications, and then she sends her order out based on the customers that have spent money, right? So say one day she checked the app and then she checked the notification. She didn't see any notification, and customers are already calling that, oh, they sent this money for this and they've not gotten their product. And Bola keeps refreshing the app. She even logs out, logging back, turn the phone off, and basically, and then she reach out to customer support and escalate the issue. Oh, I've been trying to, I mean, I've not been getting alert and all. And they told her that just let them check it and they're going to get back to her. Now, Bola, at the other hand, she's already losing trust because her customers are already worried. They are already delayed. What had happened earlier, let's just say some designers have done some UX or UI refresh, and they just thought, you know what, let's declutter this app, let's remove this notification, let's remove things and make this app probably lighter or something.
Without speaking to users like Bola or observe how she uses the app.
Bola doesn't care about how the UI looks. She cares about the feedback. She cares about her notifications, and yeah, that is what is more important to her. So, as a designer, we want to really, really understand the user first before even doing anything. And that's why every design journey starts with empathy, because behind every feature is somebody's day you are probably making or breaking. So you don't want to break somebody's day. Basically, all you want to do is you want to make their life easier. So what happens in the empathy stage? Your job here is very simple. What you want to do is you want to capture real stories and real observations. What you're going to do, you're going to watch them, you watch how they think, what they do, what they say, how they behave. You're going to ask them why over and over again, and you're going to talk to them basically. When you're planning your research, you must have a goal in mind. For example, how do people send money back home from outside the country? Now, what you do next is to talk to real users. Now, when I mean real users, it doesn't have to be your friends. You could talk to strangers. In fact, it is advisable to talk to people that are not so close with, so you could get actual information from them. You can talk to as much as 5 to 15 people, and you'll be sure to get valid points. Now the next is, what kind of questions do you want to ask? It is very advisable to ask open-ended questions. You are going to be asking questions like, oh, how do you send money currently? How do you send money back home currently? Or you could say, walk me through your entire process of sending money back home. You could also ask questions like, what has been the hardest part of it or of the process? And then you could have a follow-up question like, how does that make you feel? Then you could also continue with, if there's something you can change about the process currently, what would that be? So now, asking those kind of questions, you are going to be getting valid points from them, as opposed asking questions that they just give you a yes or no answer. You want to avoid those kind of questions, and you only want to stick with open-ended questions. Yeah, asking people questions during interviews, they are very great, but there are also other ways of getting information from users. And we have contextual inquiry. Now, what does this mean? This means when you watch users use your application, or when you watch users do the things they normally do, and just watch how they do things, basically. So for example, user can tell you that, oh, they don't write down their password and just probably memorize it. But then when you get to their environment, when you get to their workstation, you could see sticky notes where they have written down their password. So basically, you want to watch users, because sometimes what they say and what they do could be different. So you want to note that, or you want to take notes of that. Now, empathy right there is seeing the gap between what people say and what they do. Now, after you've gotten all of this information, what do you do next? The next thing to do is gather all your information and you draw an empathy map. So this your empathy map is like 4 boxes where you put in what they say, how they think, what they do, and how they feel, right? So basically, this is what you do. You gather all your information and then put them together. Now, after you've spoken to your users, you've done your interviews and all of that, your contextual inquiry, you could also follow up with a survey or a questionnaire. You could send that out to as many people as possible. This is just to further validate all of the responses that you've gotten. Also, when you get feedback from users, you could use tools like StickJam, Miro, and the likes. You could also, like, when you get on those apps, all you need to do is get sticky notes and then write out their names or the list of people, and then put valid information or valid insights that you've gotten, write them down. Now, once you are done, you want to gather them together. You want to create like some themes among them. Basically, you want to check those that have like the same pattern or the same thoughts. You want to put them together. You want to put maybe their frustrations all together in a place. You want to put, basically you just want to like create things and insights between them. By the end of your empathy mapping, you would have known users' pain points, their frustrations, their motivations. You would have known what they love and what they don't love, and you would have actually have an idea of a persona and also some user stories, and you would have gathered like tangible insights that you're going to use in the next stage. I hope we've been able to learn one or two today, and I hope we've known the meaning of empathy, that is putting yourself in the shoes of the users, designing for actual users and not just guessing, putting yourself in their shoes, knowing their pain points and their frustrations, also watching them why they do the things they love, and not just listening to them and not watching their reaction. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about the next stage, that is the define stage. Thank you so much for watching up to this point, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.